Namaste. Welcome to another edition of Navimash podcast. So we are back for the second time for the day. So we have with us a fellow Sanatani from Brazil. His name is amrtadas, but his previous name is Alex. But we will, for this occasion, we'll just call him amrtadas. So namaste.
Namaste, Ji. Namaste.
So I went through a few of your interviews that you have actually done for various channels in YouTube in India. Okay, and I was very curious about. I think, and first of all, like I like to thank you very much because when I started my channel, you are the one of the most first subscribers to my channel. So I really like to thank you for giving us support at the beginning of our journey.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to talk to your channel.
Yes. So now, what we're going to do is a lot of audience might not be familiar with you, you being an ambassador of Sanatani values from Brazil. So I know it might be repeating because you have given a lot of interviews to many channels. Okay. But for the audience who may not be familiar with your profile, so just to give a small intro, how you embrace Sanatan Dharma and culture.
Of course. So as you introduced me, I'm amrtadas from Brazil, and I follow Sanatana Dharma since more than 20 years, and through many paths, through Hatha Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. I also a student of astrology, Jyotish, and Ayurveda, and study many paths about also history of India, history of Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, Sanskrit. I'm interested in many aspects of Hindu society, history, spirituality, culture, a little bit of languages, politics. I try to understand Indian mind and Indian soul, uh, not only through my spiritual path. Of course, this is the most important. I think this aspect of spirituality, devotion. I'm a Krishna Bhakta. I'm a devotee of Krishna, so I follow my sadhana related with devotion, bhakti yoga. But I'm also a yoga teacher and astrologer, so I deal with many aspects like tantra, meditation, of Hindu spirituality. And since many years, this touched me a lot in my heart, in my spiritual development as a human, as a devotee. So I like to share these in social media. That's why many people also get in contact, and I
Uh, yeah, I think your video is frozen. So yeah, continue. Just continue. I think there would be some connection issue, but continue.
a little brief introduction about myself.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting that you are a yoga teacher. You practice uh, astrology, Vedic astrology. Okay. You are also into. I think I have gone through your. Let me for everybody show your YouTube channel as well. So I think this is very interesting. I think I learned a few things from your channel itself because I did not know that these things were there. So let me just share your channel to our audience. Let me go there.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I have
My
also
channel is
tagged you.
mostly, but I'm trying to make more videos also in English.
Yes, yes. Actually, that was one of my concerns when I was trying to connect with you, whether you speak, because I have few friends in Sao Paulo because of my official work. I think you are also from Sao Paulo. So
No,
this
no,
is
I'm
so you are
from
from.
South Brazil.
Okay, South Brazil. So there's one more city called Belo Horizonte. There also you have a I think Hindu temple there.
Yeah, Hinduism is quite popular in Brazil nowadays. Like you can find many Hindu temples in São Paulo, Rio, Belo
Hmm,
Horizonte,
hmm.
Pinda, Porto Alegre, Curitiba. Many places you can find some Hindu temples.
Yeah. So this is Amartadas. So I will see. I will not take your full name because people might not. We have now very short memories of people. So I'll keep it short as Amartadas. So this is his channel where he has covered a lot of topics. I think he cooks very well. So he grows his own food, and he's also now traveling in India. So I think we might get some of his travel vlogs in coming days when he's back in Brazil. This is a channel. It's quite interesting that he had also covered the Ganga, the cleaning of Ganga, how to make chutney. Chutney is my one of my favorite foods actually. So I was really looking for how he's making chutney. So yeah, I think it's quite a good content that he has. So please go ahead and if you like, go and subscribe him as well, so that he can make more videos about Sanatan Dharma. So now we'll get back to our discussion. So it's in South America, correct? There you have Suriname, you have Guyana, okay, and also you have I think there's one more country, Mauritius. So and there is a quite a
There's Trinidad Tobago.
yeah, Trinidad Tobago, yeah, but actually that is on the Caribbean Sea. So I'm talking about the mainland South America. I think
Okay.
Mauritius is an island. Mauritius is an island. Okay, but Guyana, Suriname is in the sea or it is in the mainland? I think it's in the mainland, correct? So
It's
Suriname.
mainland.
Yeah.
It's
So
mainland.
mainland you have Guyana and Suriname,
Yes.
which has a quite a good Hindu population there, and they are not native because they went from India to there uh, during the colonial period. So I was pretty interesting to talk about the Portuguese speaking Argentina, Brazil, okay, and how Hinduism has grown there, okay. It is now flourishing quite a bit in terms of. So, what do you think? What are the qualities of Sanatan Dharma and culture, which is attracting people of various denominations to come and embrace Sanatan Dharma in Brazil specifically?
Well, Brazilians are now very interested in Sanatana Dharma in many aspects, especially yoga and Ayurveda. It's very popular nowadays. You can find yoga centers, yoga schools, and Ayurveda also is very popular nowadays in Brazil. Many people study and practice Ayurveda. There are some doctors also working with Ayurveda. The qualities that most attracted Westerners and Ayurveda, but also the philosophy like karma, reincarnation, vegetarianism is also very popular nowadays because of the Hindu influence. So you can see like many different aspects attracting people. Astrology also it's very popular. And Hare Krishna movement, of course, it makes a huge impact in Brazil, like ISKCON, Gaudiya Math, but also many other sampradayas you can find there, like Ramakrishna Mission. Ananda Marga has a huge followers there. It's basically tantra and meditation. And even Shaiva sects, you can find devotees there. So people are very attracted to Sanatana Dharma in Brazil. The problem is the lack of understanding, proper understanding, the lack of good knowledge systems. There's few temples, there's few gurus that go there, but there is no much information in Portuguese. Mostly in English you can find, and also a lot of controversial information, like not good information, like distortions of the history, of the culture, of the politics, of Hinduism and India, that make people more confused and what is up being a Hindu. and even people don't even understand that. So there are some sects like Espiritismo in Brazil that is very, very popular. They are Christians. They claim to be Christians, but they follow karma and reincarnation philosophy from a French scholar that translated Vedas in the colonial period. So it becomes very popular, this sect. So they are kind of half Christians, half Hindus, but they don't even call themselves like that. Even they use the terminology like karma, they use reincarnation, and they even talk about devas, but they call it spiritus, like spirits. And you see that the influence is there, but they don't name it. They don't call it Hinduism. Even it's the huge influence in that, they don't even know where these teachings came from. And this is the main thing, like many people are influenced by Hindu ideas, Hindu philosophy, but they don't even know it, because they think being Hindu is something exotic, it's something uh, far away from like their reality, when they are already doing many practice. Even yoga schools, you see many yoga schools in Brazil that they don't really use the name Hindu, the philosophy openly, but what they are doing is basically Sanatana Dharma. It's basically yoga. It's the name itself. It's yoga. Like they can't deny like the roots of yoga being from Sanatana Dharma. Even they try sometimes, like, but fortunately, we also see many spiritual gurus like that came from India to West, and they preach there. They come there to teach people, and slowly, slowly, many people are more aware of all the legacy that Sanatana Dharma gave to the world, all the wonders, all the wisdom, and all how this can make a deep impact in our lives for a better future, for a better living, like to be more happy, to be more healthy, and to be more aware in many aspects, in society, in spirituality, in our lifestyle, like vegetarianism. Like 20 years ago, there was almost no vegetarian in Brazil. It was like something very rare. If you say, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian," people think, "What is this? You are an alien. You will die if you don't eat meat." But nowadays, vegetarianism is growing so much in Brazil that is already 12% of the population. So you see a huge impact, and even people don't talk that openly. The Hinduism, there's a huge influence of Hindu gurus there, like ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada. Uh, the, they promoted a lot of prasad distribution, like Indian cuisine, like vegetarian dishes. So these make a huge impact in people. Like people started, oh, you can have good, tasty food that doesn't have meat, and this changed a lot in a society that nowadays you can even find many Indian restaurants. You can have people already know what is samosa. They already like Indian food. They already want to taste and learn more. Even I teach sometimes Indian food, Indian cuisine in Brazil. I give some workshops there, and we make also dinners to invite people. Like, and people enjoy a lot. People say it's so tasty because they don't know how to use the spices. They don't know how to use the all the ingredients that Indian can afford. No, can Indian cuisine is so rich, so full of smells and spices and tastes. So this is something new, and this attracts a lot of people. So that's the thing. Like people are attracted through many sources because Hinduism is very vast. It's very, you can see like Hinduism influence it through yoga, through culinary, through dance. Also, you can find many Brazilians today that practice Bharatanatyam, Odissi. Uh, so there's many, even Vastu Shastra, you can find people practicing there. Things that are not even common in India nowadays, but it's becoming common in West. So this is something very unique that you can see. Like, and one thing I can say that from being a Westerner and traveling in India, because I travel in India since many years now, I guide Brazilians in India. It's my main tour. My main business is tourism. So I see that Brazilians in general, they can understand Indians much better than Europeans and North Americans because we were a colony like India, like we saw colonization through Portuguese colonization. So our perspective, it's not much based in judgment. Like Brazilian people, they can correlate easily with Indians. And I see many foreigners from USA, Europe, even they love India, they feel connected with Indian culture, but they have sometimes some prejudices, some sense of superiority based on judgments that we can, yeah, there's many problems in India, of course. Like I travel in India, I see so many problems that still need to be improved, but I don't judge, like, because I could feel like how it was made through centuries of exploitation by foreigner forces, of a lot of problems of wars, colonialism, doing by foreign forces. It's not saying that Indians are not responsible for that. Yeah, they should be feel like that, but we as foreigners, we should not judge. Like I see like what Portuguese people did with the native tribals in my country, like how they destroyed the native cultures, how they genocide the people, how they make their lives like almost hell, and most of them even disappeared. Like many tribals completely vanished because of colonies. So I can't say, "Lo, these native tribal people, they are guilty of their." Somehow they are, like the karma is there for anyone. Like somehow we don't understand why it was necessary to this happen in this way, but we can't even judge because they were victims of all this colonization, all these invasions of their lands and attacks, and so the same I feel like it through India. Like even India has many problems nowadays. I can understand that is a colonial legacy that took India to what it is today. And even so, you see that even a part of these problems, Indians are thriving. Indians are trying to do always the best, and they've given to the world a lot in science, in mathematics, in chess, in sports, and technology. Like you see, like Indians have a bright mind, like for sciences, for mathematics, for technologies. There's millions of engineers in India. Like they go work abroad and they become CEO in many worldwide business now. So the potential is huge. But yes, there was a colony legacy that makes many problems. But even so, with all these problems, they are thriving, and this is so beautiful. And I feel that Indians need to be proud of themselves. Like they need to feel like how beautiful their legacy is, of what they can give to the world.
Yes, very beautifully presented. I think a lot of even sometimes I feel correct that why something. I think there is one thing which actually like binds even us apart from colonialism, correct? So like in ancient times, correct? In ancient times, like we were nature worshippers. Like we worship nature gods, and in that way South American people and people in South Asia, correct? Especially India and in the region, correct? So this legacy of actually indigenous practices which we carry in our genes, in our blood, is still there. uh, in
Yeah,
Europe it is not there. Europe, the pagan culture of Europe is almost totally destroyed, but still in South America we find those practices still being surviving in very minute places. So that is one thing. So I just want to understand a bit more about, because not a lot is known about Sanatan Dharma and Sanatanis living outside the subcontinent, especially outside India, Nepal, in this region. So what kind of people, I would say, like demographics, like are there because correct, Brazil uh, is a kind of middle income country. There's a lot of violence, lot of crime is there in cities. There are a lot of issues are there. So what kind of demographics is searching for their soul and searching for peace through Sanatan Dharma? Is it people in the lower strata of society? It is the middle class? It is the upper class? So if you can just give an idea.
I think it's very mixed. Like Brazil is a very mixed country. Like even related with ethnicities and related with social income, Brazil is very unique in this regard because we have people from all over the world. You have like people from all ethnicities, from many skin tones. You can find like dark black to white people to Asian people, and people mingle themselves. Like if you see like in USA, you can see many communities, but there is the black community, there is the Italian neighborhood, there is Jewish neighborhood. They don't mix much. Like, and in Brazil, it's everything is very mixed. In the same neighborhood, you find people of all colors, of all social income. So it's very mixed. Also in the people that search for Sanatana Dharma, you see people from different backgrounds. You see even very rich people that are attracted to Hinduism, even many TV stars and some singers, famous singers that are attracted to Sanatana Dharma. Like recently, even Anita, that she's very famous even in USA. She's a singer and she sings very like adult content songs. But she became like attracted to Hinduism, and she even stopped to do like too much adult content and try to be more spiritual even in her art, in her songs. And you see like this influence these kind of people, like they are very rich background, but you also find in temples people mostly from middle class, of course, majority is middle class, but also from poor backgrounds. You find in many poor background people, they also attracted to it, yoga and Vaishnavism and meditation. It's popular in all kinds of societies in Brazil because Brazil is like that. Brazil is very mixed. You find the ethnicities, you find the social background. It's much more mixed than compared with USA, Canada, and Europe.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting. I think you gave me one info which I did not know, because you mentioned that okay, the Brazilian society itself is mixed. So there are now ghettos, like we even India, correct? We have people living in their own community space in general. But Brazil, it's different. Like everybody would be mixed together. So I know that there
It's
are uh, yeah. So there are I think black community from Africa who are there. They came, and there are also Indians also there who are there, and you also have the. I'm curious about the indigenous communities of Brazil, because I think those I think in really in Asia, not is known about the indigenous people in Brazil, and like how these communities are interacting. I think mostly they were interacting with the pastors, Christians generally. So, is there a Is there understanding? Is there a communication of the indigenous communities who live in cities? Are they interested in certain the Dharma practices?
um, that's something very difficult to achieve because
Hmm.
the native
Your audio is breaking. Yeah, I
tribes of
think. Yeah, your audio is breaking.
Brazil,
So,
there's two types. Already are converted to Christianity. They already like
uh,
Christians
Amarta, uh,
nowadays.
yeah, hello. Yeah, I think your audio is breaking. Just could you just turn off your camera for a few minutes? Now you're visible. Could you repeat because we lost your in
Okay,
between.
okay. So I was talking
Hmm.
about the native tribal communities in Brazil.
Hmm. Hmm.
Unfortunately, most of them vanished because of the colonial Portuguese Inquisition. They did a big devastation effect in the native tribal communities. And many of them also mingled with the Portuguese, the Spanish, and the Italians, the Germans, and the Africans that came later because they were very open for mingling. So it happens a lot of miscegenation through them. Like myself, I have mix of European and native tribals through my ancestry because it was happening with most of the families here in Brazil in the colonial period. So we have also a native blood uh, in ourselves. Most of the Brazilians they have a little bit, but those that are still like living in jungles, living in tribal communities, they live very isolated. These people they don't mix much nowadays because they are in reserves like tribal native tribal reserves, and they don't mix much. They don't believe much in the government and in society, and also they suffer discrimination. Unfortunately, there is a lot of discrimination towards them, and many of them they live in the jungles and they don't come to the cities. And those that come to the cities, sometimes they live in the very poor conditions. Like they don't get good jobs, they don't get good income, they do like very low jobs. They suffer a lot of this. Even they are mostly Christians nowadays. Like they don't follow their native religions. It's in spite of that, there is a huge revival among them and among even many Brazilians to revive these traditions. Like shamanismo, like is the native tribal religion. It's very popular nowadays, and you can see many shamans, many we call pajés in Portuguese. Many these pajés, they are like spiritual gurus, like spiritual masters of their tribals. They give teachings about their chants, about their religion, about their. They have a drink. You must have heard about it. It's ayahuasca.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
uh, it's a juice that they make from the herbs of the Amazon forest, and it gives a lot of. It's like a meditation. Some people even associate it with somarasa because it's like very spiritual. When you drink it, you feel a lot of spiritual process, and there's some guidance from the spirits of nature, and they do some chantings, and they do that this is as a ritual, as a prayer to the nature. So this is very popular nowadays. So even among the native tribals and among the normal Brazilians, like general Brazilian people, I have many friends that are from these groups that they practice the native tribal religions nowadays. So this is kind of growing a lot. Also, it's something that it's if you see, it's very related with Sanatana Dharma
Yeah,
because those that practice shamanismo, like they also into yoga, they also into some kind of yoga sadhana or Hindu spirituality is somehow influenced by it. Like the popularity of Hinduism, of Sanatana Dharma, give space to these native tribals grown up. So in Brazil, so it's kind of a sister of Sanatana Dharma. Like it's like because Sanatana Dharma, as you mentioned, it's related with nature worship. If you understand the Vedas, it's all about nature. It's all about understanding who we are, and understanding who we where we live, like in the mother goddess, and that is nature. And they have similar philosophy. Even they have some deities, they have some chants like mantras, and they have also the use of herbs. So these kind of things, it's very related with Sanatana Dharma. So it's kind of growing also a lot. even the same spaces that you see people doing yoga, they are doing like ayahuasca and this kind of thing. So it's very connected.
Yeah, I think you answered my question because I asked you question for a reason. Reason is that because their mode of worship, nature worship, is very similar to us. So generally, they would be like findings very similar to what we do. Okay, it may be a little bit different, but in general, it would be like nature worship uh, that we do. So that's how I asked this question. That so yeah, but I think the native communities who have still not mixed, they should be in isolation. So so that they can preserve their traditions, their heritage, and their genetic diversity, which is very important. Okay, because they carry the genetic information, which is very much important for humanity itself. So they should not
Yeah,
be mixed.
definitely. But unfortunately, the Christian missionaries are there. Like all these native tribals communities, they are closer to society, but Christian missionaries are inside of these tribals. They mostly are converted nowadays. In fact, it's very sad. This is happening. Even there are some cases of even tribal people that is converted to Christianity. They hunt other native tribals that still practice shamanism. They call them witchcraft, and it's like a problem because this mentality of accusing other religions of witchcraft can lead even to deaths, and it's a problem in some isolated communities in Amazon because the most of them are Christians now. It's the fact that they are isolated. It's good. They are isolated from society, but these don't mean that the Christian missionaries are already not inside these communities. They are since long. Unfortunately, that's the reality, and most of them already are Christians. Most of them.
Yeah, let's hope that their traditions are because they. I think I was doing one more show 2 3 hours hours ago where we talked about the ancient wisdom, the knowledge which is carried in our scriptures. But for this ancient, for these native communities, they carry the wisdom in their minds and in their rituals and traditions. Not they have not written down. So if those communities are unfortunately do not remain after a few decades, we will lose that wisdom, that knowledge that they carry with their traditions, with their rituals.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have any books. They only have oral tradition. And as I said, there is some revivalism of their
Mm.
native tribals' traditions and rituals, the religions, the culture. There is some revival going on. It's quite popular, but in a general sense, most was lost. Most was lost. Very many tribals already don't have even a clue of what their ancestors really believed or did. Unfortunately, that's the reality of. Um, Even most of them vanished. If you see the numbers, the native tribals that still live as native tribals are 500,000. It's only 500,000, and it's a very small percentage of our population. Majority vanished or mingled with other communities. So that's the reality nowadays.
Yeah. So now we'll come back to our the primary discussion. So I have this book. I picked up this book. This is by David Frawley, who is also known as Vam, uh, Vamshi Shastri. Okay. So this book actually I have read half of it. Okay, not the fully. So it talks about universal Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, a new awakening. So, what do you actually? I wanted to interview you after reading this book itself. That the concept. Let me just read few the chapters name itself. So, chapter one talks about Hinduism as Sanatan Dharma. Okay, we have. Okay, people can ask questions and comments. I'll take them. Okay, no problem. So, part one talks about uh, Hinduism as Sanatan Dharma, Hinduism, why it is misunderstood, that you talked about, that there has been a lot of colonial literature which actually misrepresented our traditions and our culture, and that is still being there as part of the legacy. So then we have Sanatan Dharma since dawn of history. Okay, importance of Viveka. Okay, Hinduism, India, and the world today. Vedic universalism and modern universalism. So it's a very interesting book, and like I wanted you to come and talk to me to actually give a perspective that the mostly Abrahamic faith, okay, that we have, okay. So they talk in terms of binary terms, me and you. Okay, if you believe in this, you are part of me. If you don't believe in my belief, my faith, you are not part of my group itself. But this egalitarian, the encompassing character of Sanatan Dharma, how do you think in coming decades and centuries, how this will play out, especially in South America, Africa, and also in Europe, from your perspective? Because you were a Christian, so you got introduced, you got curious, you understood Sanatan Dharma, and now you are practicing Sanatani. So, what do you think your journey was, and how the book describes it?
Well, I not exactly read the book, but I know his work. I follow David Crowley, and I agree with many of what his ideas. Uh, about this topic, I think that it's a huge influence that Sanatana Dharma give to the world. Like if you see many things that we have in our countries, not only in South America, of USA, you see a lot of influence of Hindu ideas, but without context and without even giving credits to it. You see, not only in science, you see like a lot of Hindu ideas of mathematics, physics, and biology. Many things were digested through academia in the colonial period, and it was renamed. It was like presented as a European development to the mankind. um, so many are a lot of these ideas are stolen, like if you see like even what we see like the tolerance, like you were talking about the Brahminical faiths, no? So in Europe there was only Christianity before, like even in Brazil, like it was only Christianity, and it was very intolerant to all other religions. Like here in Brazil we have African religions, there's a lot of African religion there, and the Christians were very intolerant to them because they say, no, this is paganism, this is idol worship, this is witchcraft, this needs to be destroyed, and they did like crimes, they torture people, they kill people in name of these belief that they are superior. So it completely makes no sense. And through the influence of Sanatana Dharma, Western society became more tolerant. Even people don't say that, but it's the influence of Hinduism. Like that today we in West can have diversity because we learn it from India, even without giving credits. Like, so these is stolen ideas. Even it's not given proper credit to Sanatana Dharma. It made a huge impact in Western mind. Like vegetarianism being growing up, the philosophy of religious tolerance, of diversity. All these is a legacy from Hindus to the world. Even the world don't give credits. People don't even realize they are following something that Hinduism, but it came like it's a reality. If you introspect to this topic, you will clearly see influence of even to the practice of not believing in anything. So all these things are, we are in debt with Hinduism, with Sanatana Dharma, with India. And I hope that the world could recognize like the huge influence that Sanatana Dharma give it. It's a blissful gift and world too.
Yes, yes, yes. So now we are going to take another 10-15 minutes, and then we will take few questions. There are one or two questions which have come, so we'll take them, and then we will let you go, and you can sleep well for the for the Sunday. So the my last question to you: what is your message? Because you have traveling to India for last 20 years. Okay, you have seen India evolve over 20 years. Okay, in terms of its economic growth, in terms of its social changes which has happened. So, like you and me actually observed, correct, that at least the younger generation, okay, and even the middle-aged people between let's say 30 to 40, okay, people who are living in cities, and now even with technology taking penetrating into tier 2 and tier 3 cities, people are generally like losing their cultural heritage, their Sanatan traditions, their beliefs. So, what do you think us as Indians needs to do from your perspective? That what we need to do, because I think you would have observed, correct? The people would not be having their traditional clothes, going to temples, culture, ritual. They are being now slowly, slowly forgotten and done as a only as a symbolic rather than embracing it in the daily lives as Indians living in India.
Well, as a foreigner, it's difficult to say something like that. But I wish to see India thriving again. I wish to see Indians uh, aware of their heritage because people are not. But it's very complicated. You know, like there's a lot of politics around it. There's a lot of problems related with these kind of things. It's kind of India gave to the world a lot of religious tolerance, but it get in return a lot of intolerance, like the growing of many religions that promote exclusivism in India. Create a lot of reactions also from Hindus towards these proselytes that they suffer. So people get close also. It's like it's something that people need to read Shastras, they need to get aware of what really Hinduism is because people I see they learn Hinduism through TV series. They learn what is Ramayana from Sony TV. Like it makes very a lot of distortions of the Itihas. So read Shastras, read Puranas, read Itihasa, read Veda, Upanishad, then you can understand what Sanatana Dharma is about. Like if you keep stuck in politics and TV dramas, you will get a very superficial understanding, and very slowly you will feel ashamed of it. But I feel that this is already happening. Like people are awakening. There is a lot of awakening going on in the past 10, 20 years. I see that in the past people were even like ashamed of wearing a tika in the outside of the house. It was like something retrograde, backward. Like and nowadays people proudly ostentate it. Like it's changing, but there is a lot more that needs to be changed because these enemies of Bharata that they want to conquer India, they want to convert Hindus, they use these as these fault lines to spread misinformation, to spread divisions among Indians. And you see a lot of divisions going on about language, about many regional diversity. The things that are beautiful, we should celebrate this diversity. We should celebrate each and every language. It becomes like a problem and a matter of disharmony and a matter of hate. So these kind of things we should introspect. Followers of Dharma, we need to understand what Dharma is. We need to read Shastra, be in association with the sadhus, and be humble because we don't know much. So, and so we need to be careful because it's a sacred legacy, and we need to be very proud, but also very simple, very humble in our approach to what Dharma is, because Dharma protects those that protects it, and that's something beautiful that Dharma teaches, not and so Hindus needs to stand for Dharma, and they are doing it, but they need to educate themselves more. We need more gurukuls. We need more good content. We need more good books and good movies and good uh, information going on. Like, and this is something that is happening. That's why I don't like to lecture, because I'm just an outsider and I'm learning myself. There's so much more I need to learn. But and I see many Hindus are very scholars in that, but somehow it's difficult to spread to the masses. Like, India has a huge population, and most of these people don't have access to good information. They have access to the bad information of mainstream media, of Bollywood, of politics, and these kind of things damage their understanding of what Dharma really is. When they realize what Dharma really is, then the problems will be solved. It's natural, and I think it's happening, but it's like a war. Like, we live in a war. Like, this world is like that, and we need to constant fight, not only through society, but also in our mind, in our behavior, in our heart, so we can also be a better Hindu. And if you change yourself, you can change the world. Like, you can't change the world if you don't change yourself. So that the work start at home. When Hindus start to feel doing sadhana, when they start to doing like their practice in their own home, cleaning first your own house, then you can clean the street. Otherwise, if you clean the street but your house is dirty, it makes no sense. So that's the thing that I think it's happening in India, but yeah, will take time and there's a lot of challenges. So let's hope for the best.
Yes. So I think you hit upon one very specific thing, which I actually believe individually, personally. You phrased it in a different way. You said that change yourself. Okay. I am a bit more blunt. I'd say be accountable to yourself. Okay. So you said it in a very gentle manner. In actually, I should use that word. That you said first change yourself before you want to change the whole world. So I do it a different way. I say first take be accountable to yourself, then ask for other people's accountability. So different ways of saying, but maybe the message is same. Yes. So I
Exactly.
think
And Hinduism is more diversity, so we don't need to worry much. Like, Hinduism, it's so beautiful that you can see there is space for anyone, any kinds of talks of people can be even an atheist. You will not be hunted down for not believing in Dharma. You can believe that Krishna is superior, you can believe that Shiva is superior, you can believe that Devi is superior, and it's all fine. Everybody has their own path, and spirituality, through spirituality, is like that. Like, when you realize that God is there for you, and even you don't understand what the others are saying, but they are saying the same thing in a different perspective.
yes. I think that was my last question. So we'll take some questions from the audience. So we have a few questions from the audience. So we'll take one by one. So first question. Okay, I had highlighted few of them, but let me just check anyway. Okay, this is something bit controversial, but you can answer if you want. Okay, so let me read it for you. Our missionaries uh, are funded by corporations who have interest in exploiting local natural resources. Uh, Ancient wisdom revolves around respect for nature, which imposed Abrahamism can't be comprehended. Like she's saying that okay, because there are a lot of commercial corporations who are funding this.
Yeah. There is the mineration and the wood industry. There is a lot of problems, especially in Amazon nowadays, because they want to deforest it. They want to use the wood uh, of the trees there, so they deforest land and plant soya and cattle. And other problem is the mineral. They extract minerals from the native tribal lands. And there is even shootings through the from mineral lobby to the native tribals Indians. But the missionaries are not exactly funded by these corporations. In fact, this is something that we should also give credits. I think I'm totally against what missionaries are doing, but somehow now the reality is that missionaries is all they have. Like it's missionaries that stand for them against these corporations. Even of course, there is many types of missionaries, but some of them really have interest in helping these people. They convert them, they raise their native tribal communities, their language, their religion, but they don't really want bad of these people. They really here they feel that even there is a story about that. Even the church was against some missionaries because these missionaries really liked these native tribal people and tried to be with them.
We okay.
So
We
the reality is like that is not black and white. So
I think there is a break in connection.
the reality is like that is not black and white. So it's not exactly that all the missionaries are bad.
Okay, could you repeat just last two sentences because we lost you due to a connection. Last two sentences.
It was because the missionaries are there and they
Hmm.
raise their culture and their religion, but somehow they are what they care also for them as people, like against these corporations, because these corporations they want to kill these tribals. They really try to kill. They have fights with them, and missionaries are there to stand with them. So that's the thing that I don't like missionaries what they're doing, but in reality, some places, some it's what they have to defend themselves. Is because missionaries can be influent in society. So if they stand with the native tribals, that at least they are not exactly genocided. That's a sad reality. In fact, the reality is not black and white. It's many shades of gray. So you can see these missionaries are sometimes what they have to defend themselves against these corporations. And yeah, maybe some of them are related with the corporations itself, but as per my understood, not exactly. They are not exactly funded. The missionaries are not funded by the corporations. By opposite, they stand only to convert. They are like soul harvesters. They want to convert them, and if they convert, they give support. So soon they become Christians. They are supported and protected by these churches, so they are not attacked. That's the thing. Like it's not good, but somehow it's the best they can get. Like at least if they convert, they still alive. It's a sad reality. Like they live like that. If they convert to Christianity, they are more safe than if they stay like following their traditions. Uh, they are hunted down by these corporations, by these illegal minor minerals corporations and the
Logging,
wood
logging,
corporations.
logging.
Yeah, they want to capture their land. So if they are not Christians, now it's changing. But before, even 20 years ago, if they were not Christians, they were not treated as citizens. So that's the thing. It's something very brutal to think and to say, but it's true. Like the reality is, it was like that. Like they were treated as animals, and if they don't converted to Christianity, they were no one. They have no rights. So that's the problem. They have Christianity as the only way that they can be accepted into society. They can be integrated and have some rights as human beings. This is something very shocking to me to say. I really feel very sad to constatate this reality, but it is what it is. I think Hindus can understand something like that because they lived under these circumstances in the past, where if they converted, they could get some safety. If they not, they could be hunted down, and this is what they still live in many cases.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So we have one more question from Milton Patel Friedman. Amartya, you are yeah. So we have one more question. I think there was a very viral video in Indian YouTube about the Jonas Masati, who is working with
Yeah,
actually underprivileged communities in Brazil. So, like, if you can shed some light, if you know something about him, because he's now very viral in Indian YouTube.
yeah. I think he also gets some. I'm not sure if it's Bharat Ratna or some other award from the Indian government, because he Jonas Massetti and Jonas Massetti guru Gloria Ariera, they are very famous in Brazil. They spread Vedanta, and Jonas Massetti nowadays he is more popular than his guru Gloria Ariera because he also mixed with the native tribal religion. So he mixed Hinduism and shamanism.
Yeah, actually, that is something which is important. That actually, when I ask you about my second question, Amartya, you are there? Hello? I think we lost him, but I think we'll get him back. Let me just text him. Mm, Let me just, I think he had a connection issue. Let me just connect with him again. Till then, we'll take the questions. Okay. Yeah, he has rejoined. Let me,
Hello.
we lost connection.
Sorry. I think the
Yeah, no
Wi-Fi
issues.
here is.
Yeah, okay, no issues. So correct. So I think this was done. I think he is now very famous in India as well because of this viral video is going around for a few days. So that's why this question has asked. It has come. Yeah, I want to take one more question. There are two or three questions, or after that we'll let you sleep. So this is a very interesting question. I think I don't know whether this question will be asked to you. Boishali is asking why this lack of integrity in Western scholars, not acknowledging inspiration from another country or civilization after all. So close-mindedness is last thing expected from scholars. I think very pertinent question. She's also very well educated, so that's why she's asking this question.
I totally agree. I totally agree. It's shameless because these scholars they stole many knowledge, knowingly and unknowingly. Many times nowadays, I think many people do that without even understanding what they're doing because become a business. And it's unfortunate. Like yoga, Ayurveda, even it's spreading like fire in Brazil. You see a lot of people like they try to rename it. They try to make their own brand of yoga, and with many distortions, and sometimes even they don't give credits, like Pilates. Pilates is a group that they do asanas, they do many things inspired by yoga, but they don't say it's yoga. Even there is some guy like the Rose make a huge business in name of yoga, and they talk a lot of nonsense about Hinduism, about yoga, and they make a huge business from it. It became, even now they lost the right in the court to use the terminology yoga, because what he was doing is not yoga. So they rebranded it, they distort it and make like a product. And this is very shameless. Like I totally agree with this question that there is a lack of integrity in these scholars because they are thieves. Like that's the thing of colonization. Colonization is based on loot. So the loot is material loot. They loot the temples, they loot the money, they loot everything, even the labor class. Like you talk about Guyana and Suriname, these people were stolen from Bihar and Jharkhand to do the slave labor in the West Indies. So this is looting, and the same happened with the knowledge. The knowledge was looted, and it was distorted and became a product. This is happening since the colonial period, even today, like in the name of New Age. Now they created this New Age thing, like, so they are practicing Hinduism, but they say, no, I'm a New Age. Like, what is that meaning? Like, you just rebranded it as something to don't be orthodox and to reject what you don't like and say that no, what I like, I like. I use what I don't like, I sanitize. So this is something very unauthentic, and that's why I feel very proud of my guru, that it's very authentic, very into the guru parampara of sampradaya and the siddhanta, and that's what attracted me more, because I see new age groups, there's so much nonsense going on among them. Even they practice yoga, they believe in karma, reincarnation. They completely change the narrative, and they even sometimes talk bad about Hinduism, and they claim to be more knowledgeable than the Hindus themselves, which makes no sense. Like it's like a children from the kindergarten thinking they know better than the teachers. Like it's so proud, and this is so not Hindu at all, because this is not Dharma. Dharma, the student need to be humble. That's the best, the basics. If you're not humble and you think you're superior than your teacher, you're not a Hindu. That's it. You're just a thief.
Yes, and I think also Vishal is also acknowledging that okay, there are some scholars like Oppenheimer, Tesla, and others who actually acknowledge that they accrue knowledge, they got wisdom from the scriptures, and they openly say that okay, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita are their inspiration. So we have both kind of people there available. Okay, not only one kind.
Of course.
So to be fair, to be objective about what it is. So we'll take our last question, and that this question is very important question that we have received. Why Sanatan, which is only refers to Vedic Dharma, why not call it Hindu Dharma, which encompasses all Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, Vedikas, Sanatanis, etc. For marketing purpose or just mistake? Okay, before you answer, let me actually give more perspective. So when we talk about Sanatan, the word Sanatan means eternal. Okay, so Vedas are called Apaurisha. It is not human written. So you can't attribute Vedas to humans or something which is a which can die or which can born. So Vedas are Apaurisha. So when you talk about Sanatan Dharma, okay, it means eternal, and dharma, the word itself, it doesn't mean religion. It means sometimes it will mean what is your purpose to be born again, to be born. So dharma means my dharma. If I am born as a kshatriya, my dharma is to actually fight. So your purpose defines your dharma. So it's interchangeable. Okay. So when you are understanding this thing, so understand first, Hinduism is something which is known. It was not something we did not name ourselves because we did not need to name anybody, because you are a Sanatani if you believe in Vedas. If you don't believe in Vedas, you are still part of the same fold. You are just Ajivikas, you are just Charvaks, you are just some other sect. So you are within the fold. So this naming convention is only something which is Abrahamic in nature. That name. So the otherization doesn't happen in our culture. So that thought process needs to be understood and evolved. So over to you, Vic, Amar.
Exactly, like you answered the question, because this identity thing, like identify yourself with a religion's fold, is a Western idea. It's a Western concept. Indian concept of Veda, what Veda teaches, it's not, oh, I'm a Vedic. No, it's not like that. Veda don't teach like you are a Vedic. Veda teaches you are Atma. That's what Veda says. Like you Aham Brahmasmi. Like that's the main thing. Like we understand that we are the soul. And if you understand you are the soul, you understand that all other identities, like I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm a engineer, I'm a kshatriya, I'm a brahman, all these, even Varnashana Dharma, this is all temporary identifications of the body. It's not your true identity. Like, and so that's what the Vedas teach, and the Veda is not a religion like Christianity or Islam. It's knowledge. Veda, it's knowledge. It's not one particular group. It's knowledge, period. It's just knowledge. It's not a group, a sectarian group, religion. No, it's knowledge. And if you have knowledge, if you have Veda, you can understand what the Dharma is. And Dharma is not based in one religion. It's even the animals, they follow Dharma. Even the devas and asuras, they follow Dharma. Even the vegetables, they follow Dharma. Because Dharma is, Sanatana Dharma is Jaiva Dharma, is the Dharma of Atma, of the soul. And each and every soul follow it, knowing or unknowing, calling by any name you want. It's just a name. People give names to understand, but when you are stuck in that name as your identity, you are in Maya. And this is what the Vedas say, the knowledge say. Like if you stuck, oh, I am a human, I am a male, I am a female, I am a photographer, I am a kshatriya, or I'm a Brahmin. This is just a name for your occupation in this life, but you are not that. Like when you understand that, and Indians use it to understand that better than anyone else, because in the past they were very connected with their religion and tradition. But nowadays there is this virus that came from the colonialization, that came so from identity politics. Nowadays is language. Nowadays, like it's trending in India. I'm a Tamil. I'm a Kannada. I'm a Hindi. Like what? Why? This doesn't make any sense. Language is just a mean of conversation. Like you can translate to any language, and like it's not your identity. Like anyway, people get stuck in these identity labels, and they start to fight. Oh, I'm better, I'm superior, I will conquer you. Like this is so Western mentality, is so primitive, that I think that Indians need to evolve from it. Like call it whatever you want. Like if you want to call it knowledge in English, if you want to call it Sikhi Dharma, if you want to call it Jaiva Dharma, Hinduism, whatever, it's just a name, it's just a label to communicate better. And but when this became a labor to identify yourself, like I am this group, I am that group, then it start to segregate, and you start to get sectarian. And this is not Vedic. This is not Vedic at all. So this is something that we need to understand properly. It's a great question, and I really feel like it's we need to meditate about this topic more, so we can understand who we really are. We are soul. We are Atma, Aham Brahmasmi. That's what Veda says. He don't say, I am this body. I am, I don't know, a man or a politician or a merchant or whatever. It just says you are Atma and you are trapped in this body. You should be do your duty. What the Veda says, we need to do our duty according to time and circumstance. Like if I am in this body, in this nation, in this society, I need to do the best I can. But in the end, nothing that matters. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no? Sarvadharmam paritejai mam ekam sharanam brajaham tvam sarvapapavyo mokshiya samah. So leave all these kind of dharmas. These are temporary. It's important while you're living your material life. Of course, it is important. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you identify with this group or that group. You will die in the same way. And what matters is your spiritual development. If you develop your conscience, your Atma, then you will get benefit. Otherwise, you will just keep stuck in the cycle of birth and death in samsara. So that's the thing that Vedas teach.
Yeah, so the word, I think people would know the Jivatma.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this is a very beautiful question that we received. I think that is something correct. I would tell people, and also you are telling that we need to go and read more and understand more. Sometimes we read and we don't understand and we learn something wrong thing. So it's important to read and also understand the proper context. So when you are reading specific scriptures, do seek a guru, and with the guru's
Exactly.
help you will be able to understand and get the wisdom that you should be getting from the scripture. If you read it on
Yeah,
your own, sometimes, but actually most times, you will get the wrong kind of perception, which may not help you.
exactly.
So
It's not easy to understand everything in the Shastras. Sometimes it's codified information. Sometimes there's information that from past eras that doesn't apply anymore. So that's the thing. We need also a guru. We need association, sadhu sangha.
Amata, last word to you before we leave, and I think we will request you to come again to talk a bit more about your experience. I think uh, it would be very helpful for like for me also to learn. So it's like learning. Whenever I talk to people like you, I learn a few things every time I speak to people. And the audience also gets to actually get a perspective, because my audience will not be able to actually anyhow get the kind of information perspective that you gave regarding Sanatan Dharma, the indigenous people, their culture, that how it happened. So it's valuable information for everybody that you are sharing with us, and I really thank you for this.
Of course, it's a pleasure to share a little bit of my journey and a little bit about Hinduism in Brazil and the native tribal traditions. I'm very fond of doing this kind of conversations, and it's a real pleasure to be on your podcast today. I would like to thank you for inviting me, and I'm available whatever you need. Uh, Thanks so much.
Yeah, yeah. So what I will do is, I think I will give you this recording so you can upload it in your channel as well. So
Yeah, definitely.
because there is no content on your channel, so I think you should get some content. So I will give it to you the recording, and then you can upload it directly.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So thank you, Jai Shri Ram, Vande Mataram. We'll see you again.
Vande Mataram.